Yo, it's 7 o'clock p.m. on a Wednesday. And if it's 7 o'clock, you automatically know what it is. It's time for the CVMK show. And I'm super excited because we have an amazing guest, an amazing person today, just amazingness all around. We have the new author, Danielle Traylor. But before we get into it, guys, if you want to keep seeing amazing people like we have on today, I need you to do a couple things. I need you to go to YouTube, subscribe, hit like and share, subscribe. CVMK, 4 letters, easy to remember. Also, if you just want just the fitness, not the podcast, all the extra stuff, then it's CVMK Global Fitness. But it's on YouTube. But then I got to have you follow us. So go to social media where it goes down from the gram to TikTok. Go to CVMK Global. If you see the bear, you see the black and white bear, that is CVMK Global. I'm going to put that in the chat just for those who don't know. CVMK Global. That helps us to keep going. Lets us know you're watching. Inspires us. And y'all get your protein, get your supplements. www.cvmkglobal.store. You know what I got with me? I got Central Protein. It's the new protein drop. If you like cinnamon flavor, you like that honey bun flavor, I'm telling you, it's a game changer. It's going down today. When I return, I have the one and only missionary Danielle after a quick word.
Welcome to the CVMK show. It's not just a podcast, it's leadershiptainment. Subscribe now on YouTube at CVMK.
Danielle!
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great. And yourself this evening?
I'm well. Excited about having you on here. Honored.
I'm excited.
Let me do your intro. Let me do your intro. I did not do it. Let me do this. I'm gonna do this correctly. I want to do it right.
Yes.
Danielle Dickerson Traylor is an author, entrepreneur, and woman of faith who truly believes God can redeem any story, especially the messy one. She's the founder of Unashamed Grace Publishing, and she's recently released her first book, From Madam to Missionary, which is her real life testimony of survival, grace, and answering God's sovereign call. She holds a bachelor's degree in liberal arts, a master's degree in accounting, and chaplaincy trained, where she shows up in every day of her life, whether it's in writing, leading, or walking alongside people in real life. She serves in ministry as an evangelist, missionary, and elect lady in the Grand Old Church of God in Christ Incorporated. And she believes not only in God, but she walks it out and lives it every day. Everything she does in ministry to business to writing is about showing people that it's never too late. You're never too far gone. And God really does rewrite stories. Did I do it right? Did I do the intro right?
I'm going to clip that.
You're going to clip that? Well, look, I'm super excited about having you on. Super excited about getting into the book. You just released a book, right? And being an author and everything. You know, I want to go here. You know, that's an interesting title, right? From Madam. Anybody knows what a madam is? Let me ask, do you know what a madam? Do you know what a madam is? To missionary. First of all, let's start with an easy question. What inspired you to write this book?
So, in all transparency, when I not just got saved, but I had recently got to a place where I had accepted the call that God had on my life. And I was introduced to a female pastor who had lived the life sort of what I did, like the gang banging and all that. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to have a conversation with you. And she was like, we have nothing to talk about. That was devastating for me. And I'm like, how many people out there like me trying to accept what God has for us, but you thinking you did too much or you went too far and God won't use you or not able to use you. And here it is, somebody like myself who can tell them not only will he, but how well he can. So I'm like, I want to be that person for people that was like me, who wasn't from a church. Like, I'm from a church background, but I left the church. But I wanted those to know you don't have to grow up in church and in ministry to be used by God.
That's true, because a lot of people that do grow up in church aren't used by God and they in church. So I mean, I totally got me. God will have mercy on whom he will. So from this, right? I've had a chance. I believe I was one of the first purchasers of the book. I bought it. I was going through it and everything, and I read. I was like, your setup is interesting. You hear a lot of great testimonies, but this Madame part, you said you wanted, and this is a direct quote, you wanted to operate this as a family, and you would have a recruiting session, and you would recruit these workers. Can you explain to me what Madameism is? What this is the business? In the words of 50 Cent, I don't know what you heard about me, but they can't get $1 out of me. No Cadillacs or birds you can't see, because Danielle was a blankety blank. Can you explain to me what pimping is?
It's a female version of a pimp, and a pimp we all know is someone that women. Right. So when I said family orientated, it actually started out as an opportunity. I was employed by adult entertainment company, which was family orientated. It was ran by brothers, sisters, husband, wife. And then it's easy to slide from one to the next. So I was the recruiter for the adult industry part. And then when I saw opportunity to make more money by adding extras,
sure.
Because it's some things that occurred. It's in the book. It's some things that occurred that put me in a place where I'm like, okay, we got to do something different. And I called a meeting, and we all agreed that something different would work out if we did it the way I suggested.
No, I read it. I know exactly where you're going. So how did you build the confidence? A lot of times, I love the grand old church, but it is the most non-transparent institution.
All my leaders,
we just say I used to be what? Oh, just out in the world doing what?
My leaders are amazing. Pastor Naaman Williams and Lady Davita Williams, they are some of the most transparent people I know, and they made it comfortable because I was not criticized. I was not talked down to. In fact, they encouraged me. That's how I ended up doing it. I actually had my book launch at the church. So when you come from transparent leaders and those that let you know it's okay to tell your story, not that you need the permission, but it's just so much easier when your covering is backing you.
Do you think we create safe places so that you can tell your story?
I'm blessed because I do have a great support system, and I have people that want to listen to me, that want to hear my story. But it's, I know it's people that need to hear that story. It's a lot of people that won't say it. And maybe it's not for them to say. Maybe it's for me to speak for those that's too timid to say it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm appreciative of my bishop. I don't fear that I'm going to lose none of my license or positions because I'm sharing this story. In fact, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do as an evangelist. I'm evangelizing to build the kingdom of God through my testimony.
That's true. They overcame by the blood of the Lamb and by the words of their testimony. So let's get into that overcoming part, right? Obviously, there is a lot of events that happened. So you started off in here. You was recruited in the adult entertainment industry. You were kind of like the COO of this operation, right?
No.
And then you wanted to build out this network of talented individuals. Let's say talented individuals, TI, right? These talented individuals that would spur activity. And then what was the catalyst that said, God, I don't like where I'm at right now? And
I was actually in church and still a madam. When I first came to church, it was to visit my brother. My twin brother David used to play the drums, and I would go see him. So it wasn't me starting to come to church because God called me. I first came to church to see my brother, and then while I was there, I heard the word. While I was there,
and the words of Pastor Name talk to her like you do me. I will, Pastor. I will talk to her.
No, he said
I'm trying to be as respectful as possible. I'm about to trust me. I'm about to switch.
No, don't do that. Don't do that because past a different breed. That's how y'all talk. Look, I like where we at. But
yeah.
Hearing the word and being around God, and you know, me as a person starting to want different. Because like I was getting tired. Like I'm living 3 different lives: in church, in school, working, and working.
Yeah.
So it was like a lot going on. Not to mention I had a bunch of God babies, God kids all around. Like it was a lot of stuff that I was doing all at once, and that could become tiresome. And I felt the tug of God. Like I felt Him. Like it's more. It's more to what I'm supposed to be doing. My life is more than this. Like it wasn't bad, but it wasn't where I was supposed to be. And so
when you feel like it wasn't bad, like what about the money? What was the money like?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Like I was good. I told you I had a bunch of God kids. Like we made stuff happen. Life was nice. Like I wasn't balling out. Like
yeah.
I'm not gonna glorify or glamorize it, but we did things. Like I took my kids out. I went out. I had nice stuff. I had cars all the time. One breakdown, I go get another one. I was hood rich.
I was like, okay,
that's a different type of rich. You know, it don't take too much to be hood rich, but I was hood rich and I was comfortable. And like I knew what to expect. I knew what was coming in, when it was coming in, and how to use it. Right. So yeah, I was comfortable.
Gotcha.
I've always been a giver. So like I made sure if somebody needs something, they got it.
So in this process, so you're in church and you're still obviously dealing with this entity, this industry of sex work, right? As an overall conglomerate manager of it, and while being in church, not just conviction builds up, but a dialogue of needing to transform, needing to evolve, kind of starts happening and whatnot. Yeah. Who was the first person? And I'm assuming I know, but who was the first person that you went to and was like, "Hey, I don't want to pimp anymore"? Like, who was that person?
I never said that.
Never said that.
Never said that. So most of the people that was around me, unless they were working for me or my kids, did not know I was doing it.
Really?
It wasn't something. So I never knew. I knew it wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. So the ones that was close to me like that, I didn't want them to know. I found out some of my kids knew when they were grown. I'm like, I didn't know y'all picked up on all that. So the first person that actually helped me transition though was First Lady Tiffany. Her last name Booker now.
Okay.
But she was the first person that I felt comfortable being vulnerable with, because where I come from, vulnerability can get you killed. And people take advantage of you. Like you open up to them, next thing you know, they using that against you. So it took a minute for me to get to that place where I felt comfortable to be vulnerable with somebody. And she was the first person to help me transition from using my fists to talk about how I feel to using my words or prayer.
Let's talk about that. I'm gonna take a quick break, and then I want to talk about what does trust look like? What does that vulnerability like? Why did Lady Tiffany Booker stand out amongst the others? Look, when we return, we're gonna have a quick break, and then we're gonna get into it because I really want to dive into the juicy details of the book, because I want y'all to get the book. That's the whole goal. We want you to get it, not just listen to this and brush it off. We want you to get it. But when we return, we'll be back with the one and only missionary Danielle Traylor Dickerson after this.
On the days I need mental clarity and peak physical performance, Superpower by CVMK Global is my to-go. It supports me whether I'm flowing through yoga, pushing heavy in the gym, or striking hard at boxing or Muay Thai. No matter how I combine training, this pre-workout keeps me energized and consistent, feeling locked in and unstoppable. Superpower always delivers. Clean energy, no crash. A non-negotiable for those days I'm pushing extra hard. What are you waiting for? Try it and let me know how it works for you.
How y'all y'all know who that is, that's Rosa Acosta. That's the one, the only superstar on Wild 'N Out. Shout out to Wild 'N Out. Shout out to Nick Cannon. If you don't know, you're lost in space. That is the one, the only, the famous, amazing person, by the way. One of the sweetest people in the world, Rosa Acosta. But she uses superpower. Why aren't you using superpower? Women, why aren't you using superpower? You got the anointing, but you don't have superpower. If you combine the two, you be somebody else. I'm trying to tell you, summer is around the corner. We are 60 days from heat, and you're going to be still bogus. And Ozempic alone can't get you there because you can melt, but if you don't actually form it together, you just look like a melted ice cube. Get it today, www.cvmkglobal.store. Use code, I'm going to give you this 20% off, CVMK, 20% off. Get it today, y'all, www.cvmkglobal.store. Okay, so Lady Tiffany was your person of solace.
Mm-hmm.
You opened up to her. How, like what made you think that was a safe move?
She was from my world, so she used to be a game banker too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, expound upon that. I did not.
I could relate to her. She could relate to me. She knew where I was in life, and she had made a 180. Like, she was the first lady.
Yeah.
So she knew how to talk to me without being disrespectful, and she knew that I was hard on my exterior was harder than my heart. So,
do you think that's what's missing? You said I could relate to her because we're the same. Like, that level of connectivity do you think that's what's missing from? I won't even say it's just ministry.
No,
I think it's also apparent in the workforce. I think it's missing from corporate. I think it's missing from any institution. I don't see myself.
Compassion. That's called compassion. Compassion is missing across the board. And I'm not sure why, especially in church when that's the place that it's supposed to be present in. We have to be willing to meet people where they are. And sometimes, we have an agenda and we want people to fit into our agenda instead of first building relationship, because trust comes from relationship. But I have to see that I can trust you.
That's true. Trust comes from relationship. And First Lady Angelique, how are you? We'd love to have you on the show. Do a shout out. Anytime you want to come on the show, let me know. You have my cell, 312-301-1856. You see how bold I am? That's how my grandpa used to do.
I love her. I just being at her first annual book expo. She got a list to drop.
Oh yeah. You got to do another one. So this compassion piece that is missing, I absolutely agree with you. I think that the agenda or the bottom line has become more important than the people. And when you start putting X's and O's in front of individuals, eventually you'll bottom out, right? Because the top can't support the whole function, right? Everything is built upon each other in levels and layers. And I've said this is what's going to happen in the U.S. economy if you keep squeezing and eliminate the middle class, where you just have high income earners and then nobody else. But, rich don't buy from rich. So you say you got to be careful not to eliminate your customer. Okay, so you have this conversation, or you're having these conversations. Lady Booker is your go-to, and she comes from a very similar environment, and all of a sudden you start this process of transformation, right? Of clarity, if you will. Was there ever a time?
It was a process.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still in the process. So was there ever a time, because we talk about sometimes you don't feel like adequate enough, or you feel phony in the space. Do you ever feel like, man, like, even though I love God, at the same time, like, I still have pimp ways? Like, how do you deal with those feelings?
I think I was speaking to somebody. That might have been you earlier. I was talking how, like, when I found myself in a tight spot, I'm like, I know how to get what I need, but I'm like, I honor God too much and I honor myself. So it's not that they go away. You just learn them, use them the right way. So I started my own business. I have a couple of businesses. So I took the skills that I learned and applied it to good stuff, legal stuff, positive stuff.
Legal stuff. Yeah, because you got a master's in accounting.
Yeah. So I do taxes. I've been doing that for almost 20 years now. I just started my own publishing company when I wrote the book. So it's like I just learned to take those skills And I am better.
I need to holler at you because I got to do my business taxes. I haven't.
Let's
Yeah.
talk.
When I saw that, when black folks say we do taxes, I don't really know what that means. Like, do you?
Oh, I get it.
Like, you do taxes, or you just out there trying to scam? And like, I get you. Like, hold on. So I gotta ask.
That's what people don't like. Like, I don't do that. I don't do that part.
Okay, like there's a degree attached.
Yeah.
Okay. So focusing on the book. Okay, so you started to go into legitimate enterprise.
Correct.
Legitimate enterprise, right? And in this transition to legitimate enterprise, how do you detach? Like, and what I mean by this is this new you. Like, when people see you now, they see the author, right? They saw the book expo. They see the elect lady. They see you doing things in the state. What are you, 3 positions removed from being supervisor?
No.
Yes. I was joking with Diamond. I said, I won't even say that joke. I won't say that joke live here. But, so to be this ingrained, is there ever this kind of like moment like, man, I used to be out here? Like, has that ever kind of that feeling happened for you?
I think that's what took me so long to write the book and actually be out here, because when you're doing what you're supposed to do and you getting to where God wants you to be, the past team to pop up, right? And then they got stories. So it was a concern, but I tell them myself, like, is Mother Ruth know my stuff, Lady Walker know my stuff. Like, I don't have secrets. I feel like if you have secrets or you're ashamed, I never was ashamed of what I did. I don't have regrets. I didn't get saved because I was bored. The Lord literally drew me. So I don't miss that though, because the peace that I had, I was literally, I learned how to function in dysfunction, right? But the peace that I have now, I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world. So I had fun while I was out there because I was used to that. Danielle, what namesake, don't do that.
Supervisor, you got people out here watching, and then they'll be like, "Hey, what do you mean?"
Right. But no, so I get what you're saying. At no point do I miss it. At some point, I am concerned.
Yeah,
certain things might pop up, but because I've been transparent and my covering is who they are, I'm not worried.
Hold on, Pastor Damon, you're not this easy on me. Let me turn it up a notch.
What? No. Wait a minute. Your interviews with him is not your interviews with me. Don't let him pressure you.
Talk about transparency. Like, I always think to myself, like, if let's say I was like a porno star, right? Let's say I was like Mr. Marcus or somebody like that, right? Just out here, just kill it, right? And I get saved, and I'm in church, and then somebody comes up to me like, "Man, I'm so glad what the Lord has done for you, but man, you used to be the man. You was Mr. Marcus." Like, I always think in my head, what does that conference? Because I think it's funny. Like, I wouldn't have any regrets, but I do think like the comedian in me would be like, "Yeah, like I still got it."
I had the opportunity to worship with a lady. She used to be in the adult industry, and she gave her life over to God, and she actually was in church. And I didn't really, all transparency, I didn't like her at first because you're doing too much. But after I found out she used to be a porn star, and then she came to church, like, that takes courage.
That does take courage.
So I ended up liking her, and we ended up, getting along very well. But I asked her, like, how tough was that? Because like people in the church recognized her. But if they recognize it, that means they watched it, right?
You're right.
So what we saying?
All right.
How
So
you know her?
transparency moment.
Right.
I have never, if that ever happened, and let's say it was somebody really, really popular back in, and I'd be like, that's old girl that used to. I don't know, because like there's the human aspect of me, and then there's like the preacher, and I would have to put the human aspect aside. So what I would do is just not entertain and be super like cordial, because in the back of my head I'd be like, yo, that's Cherokee, or that's whoever, right? So like that would, but at the same time we all have a past, and I think it brings up a larger conversation of, do we really believe God can deliver? And
Right.
I don't, you know, I know we say it. I know we say it, but I don't really think we really mean it. Like we like the mess.
When it comes to medicine,
Yeah, like is it a
physical
medicine? And I'm gonna
Yeah.
explain this, and I'm gonna ask you this question. I was watching a clip my boy Denzel sent me of Andrew Tate. He loves Andrew Tate, and whether you agree with Tate or not, that's not up for debate. But Tate's talking about the Epstein files and all this stuff. And he's like, if we really cared, we could shut this thing down right now. He said, but the reality is, when your bills are due, when you have groceries to pay for, when people are sick, you don't care about all that garbage because you start finding out it's too heavy, it's too deep, and the rich are just taking control. I think we have the same attitude in church. I don't think as a whole we really are that invested in the transformative work and what that really looks like. So talk to us because that's a swing. We all got a swing. I'll share mine.
So later. I grew up at Hope Deliverance Tabernacle. It was Pastor Jackie Jordan. I came from a deliverance center. That was their name, Hope Deliverance Tabernacle. And people were transformed. Lives were changed, not just physical or mental healing or medical healing, but to be a certain type of person, a drug addict. And then you come into the church and now you're a deacon and you're on fire for God. Like, that's still deliverance. In fact, I think I hold that higher than medical, because a lot of times this stuff that's going on with people that we can't see. And when you notice that a person moving different, where they're more peaceful, they're not as angry, that's God in real time. So I think we don't even really know how to approach that this day and age, because we got a lot of prosperity and you're going to get a house. Like, we don't have true teaching. Like, hell is real. You got a lot of
hell is real.
It's calling themselves Christians that don't believe in hell.
I know.
So like,
which is the antithesis. Like, why would we need Jesus if hell isn't real? That's kind of a mute point.
Jesus can change. Like, you have people saying, people that was living a lifestyle of a homosexual, and if they decide to stop doing that, they still want it. You just don't know about it. Why? If they believe God delivered them from that, why is that so hard to believe?
You know what I think it is? I think it's easier to hate than it is to love.
Yeah.
And because the Bible says love covers a multitude of faults, it doesn't erase, but what it does, it protects the vulnerability of it being exposed to their detriment. And I think it's easy, depending on what the sin is or the lifestyle, for us to just have an opinion, yay or nay, and we go balls to the wall on either direction, right? But the truth of the matter is, I always tell people, God is not left, neither is he right. He's not a conservative, nor is he liberal. He is who he is, and he shall always be who he always shall be. Our job is to come up, right? But the comeuppance is an act of grace. And if it is an act of grace, therefore I'm nobody's judge, but I'm everybody's helper. And that is something that I think we wrestle with in the body. We wrestle with in corporate, is that everybody calls themselves a leader, a coach, a guide, a prophet, or whatever. But are you truly committed to the work of raising people up? Because ultimately, that's it. Prophet Lonnie Davis, I got to get you on here, man. I enjoyed you when you preached.
No, he needs to respond to my text message first.
I get your messages when you see me on the gram, man. My bad. I've been in my own head, but I need to get you on here. So when it comes to the book, so you do this, and then you talk about the evolution of it. And I'm not going to spoil it for everybody. But then now, you're an elect lady.
I am.
You are an elect lady.
Apostle Davis, my new president.
Yes. So how, elect lady, you went from Goldie, to no, because you was a minute. You was Della Reese. Yeah. You just shot my pinky toe. I gotta cut you
the whole day.
You just shot my pinky toe.
You just made the whole day.
All the way to this. So now,
that's all God.
So what has what do you think you bring unique to the ministry that is missing?
I mean, I bring me. Like, I'm a presence and I'm a force to be reckoned with, and I'm relatable. Like, I show people it's a different side of the church. And there's a lot of people like me at my church. So, like, people so stuck on what's out here, what's being pushed. Churches are being exposed, but it's the ones that's not doing it the way with love and kindness, right? Everybody got a story. Everybody been through something, and I'm let them know it's okay to do it your way. Nobody can tell the next person what Jesus looked like for them.
I like it. Nobody can tell. Look, we want to get into this. I want to get into some more granular evidence of the book. I want to explore it a little bit more. I want to talk about this now. What does this next phase look like? I want the people to know where they can get it. We got to take breaks. We got to pay the bills. When we return, we have the one, the only, the author, Danielle Dickerson. After this,
there's a hero in all of us waiting to be unleashed. All it takes is just that one last push. Activate the hero within with CVMK Global Supplements. All natural, steroid-free, designed to enhance performance, build muscle, and increase energy. You are unstoppable. You can do this. Become your own hero at www.cvmkglobal.store.
Yo, CVMK Global is more than a supplement brand. We are building the next Nike. I'm telling you, it's going down. That is the one, the only Chloe Greco, 1.5 million influencers. Yo, Supermodel did it solid for us. Appreciate you, Chloe. But ladies, you need support. You see that sports bra? You might say, I don't work out. All right, look, let me tell you a story. I was at a funeral one time. I won't tell you whose funeral because they probably watching it. I don't need any text. Funeral's packed. Bishop dies. Funeral's packed. Everybody there. You know, black folks, we gonna show up at a funeral. We might hate you in real life, but we gonna come. So I'm at the funeral. I'm sitting next to my cousin Mar. There's a lady to my left side sitting on the other end where the pews are. You know how Freedom Temple is structured. And a praise break jumps out. That's quite common in the charismatic church, particularly in the black church. That happens all the time. We love to praise God. Whether we high or not, we will praise the Lord. So the lady starts praising the Lord, but she has on a very revealing attire, right? Fine with me. I don't know, I'm happily married. I don't know, whatever. But I noticed that, she had the girls, on display because people go to funerals to be seen, right? So starts to bump. And I mean, the musician's going, wow, bump. I mean, just a flat out, I don't know if Curtis is on the organ or whoever, but it was a flat out praise break. Lord, this lady's titty popped out. So what the moral of the story is, if you want to keep your girls protected, you need a good support system. And we got to get the sports bra at www.cvmkglobal.store. All sizes, we got you covered. It is designed not just for the gym, but it's designed for the convocation. It's designed for UNAC, for AIM, for the workers meeting, for the good shepherd meeting, for the leadership conferences, for the Assemblies of God conferences, for the Pilgrim conferences, from the Full Gospel Baptist conferences, from the Catholic conferences, the Methodist conferences, however, wherever you find God. Ladies, have your girls in support at www.cvmkglobal.store/herbra. You'll see it there. Anyway, so great story. It's a true story. I wish I made that up. That's actually a true story. So in relation to the book, I don't know why my mind went there. In aspects and understanding of the book, you begin this process. Being an author is difficult. It is taking me 10 plus years, closer to 15, from the first to the second. And I'm almost done with the second one, but the second one is a masterpiece, right? I feel like you can only have so many masterpieces, but you can have a lot of, renditions. And there's a process of vulnerability. There's a process of review. There's a process of frustration. There's a process of worry. There's a process of fear. And it's like, will they receive it? And then there's this rush of boldness that says, I just gotta get it out of my system. Explain to us, what was the process like in actually authoring your masterpiece?
So I got the title like 2 or 3 years ago. And one thing I've been telling people whenever I talk about my book is, if God have you do something or tell you to do something, you should definitely do it. Because if you don't, He has a way of giving you that opportunity to do it, right? So God, I went to convocation with Mother Rue this year, and during my downtime, like God literally showed me the structure. Because like I was telling you, I did a lot of things at the same time, so a lot of my life overlapped. And I don't never want to come before the people all over the place. And that's the same way I wanted to do with my book. I wanted it to be focused on what that story I was trying to tell, not everything that was going on during that time. Yeah. And the Lord showed me how to structure it while I was at convocation. And when I got back from convocation, 4 days later, I got let go of my job. And I was like, well, now I got time to write the book. Because I'd already set me a schedule. Like every day I was going to write for like an hour. Start with prayer, read a scripture. That's how it ended up being scriptures on every chapter, because that was the scripture that God had gave me during the writing period. So like even the design of the book came from Him. So it's just being obedient. And I started with an outline and build from there. And then stay focused. Like I wanted to make sure it was age appropriate for anybody that read it. Like my next one, it'll be more for young adults and adults because it's from pain to purpose. So it'll be talking about the trauma, the sexual assaults, those kind of things. So this first one, I really wanted to be ageless and a class. And I believe it is. Like I've got feedback from some of the mothers, like was excited about my book, and I was scared for them to read it.
Yeah.
Most of the people that read it can see that some part of themselves in it. So like it crossed saved, unsaved, been in church your whole life. Like it's something in it for everybody.
I got a question from the audience. Is your book sold on Amazon?
Yes, it is.
Yes, sir. Or yes, no, whoever, not yes, sir, but yes, it is. Okay, cool. Well, that's good. All right. So you wanted this to be ageless.
So make sure they get the right one. That's what it
was. Yeah. Show the folks, show the pig from Madam the Missionary based on a true testimony. So
you'll see my picture on the back.
Love it. So you created a capture of a time in your life and how really the Father has showed up for you in a way that would not turn off any specific audience. At the same token, it created enough depthness where people could relate. But share us a story, and this, for Prophetess Gail Kilo that's on here, what is the name of the book? It is called From Madam to Missionary, and I'm sure by the end of it you can purchase it, and we'll get into that. But tell us a story like of something that maybe the book didn't capture that you're wanting to hold for another conversation.
As far as like part of me, or just like
like the pain you talked about, the pain.
So I learned, but that was under. So like when you're under proper leadership, not saying that it's something wrong with. I believe every place that I went, and I only belong to 2 churches in my adulthood. I was placed there for a season, for a reason, and then when that time was up, I was allowed to be placed at the bread. And being placed at the bread, I got Lady D and Naaman. Naaman is my sharpener, and Lady D is my nurturer. So when I talk to Lady D, I start to understand why I went through a lot of the stuff. Because a lot of times we come in church like, why me, why me, why me? And at the end of the day, it's really why not me, right? Because Job didn't get picked on because he did something. Job got chosen because God knew He could trust him. So God trusts me to go through the things that I went through, to experience the things I went through, because He knew I would be bold enough to talk about it, so that the next person could know it's not a possibility you can come out. I'm living proof that God can change you, even in your mess. Like when God met me, I was still a madam. I was, still doing things I ain't had no business doing, still being Danielle to the fullest. But the more of a relationship I gained with Him, the more I got to do better. And it wasn't nobody telling me you got to do better. It was you get to a place where you don't want to disappoint Him. He's like your real Father.
Yeah.
Like our parents, we don't want to, like, at some point we have our rebellious years, but then at some point we just want to be like, they're proud of us. And that's where I got with my walk with God. And then if I can use the trauma and stuff that I went through to prevent somebody else from going through that, because had I listened to the people that was in my life and I pushed a lot of people away, because I'm a professional at pushing. I knew deleting block before it came a thing. If I had just took the time to listen to them. So I'm appreciative of people like my brother, my twin, my godmother. Those people never let me go, no matter how ridiculous it was or what I said. They still was praying for me, still picked me up. Hey, come to church for this. Even when I wasn't in it, I would go be with them. So it's just, you get to a place where the relationship with God is more important than the embarrassment, more than the shame. And some people might feel that way, like they're embarrassed of their background or embarrassed of some of the things that they did. But opening up your mouth, that's going to overcome the shame, because then you put the devil under your feet, because the devil will always use that to keep you where he wants you to be. Because if you don't get to a place where you're comfortable with you, how can you help somebody else get to where they need to be in Christ? And there's people assigned to all of us. Somebody waiting on everybody to tell their story.
True. Comfortable being you. I want to go here. I know we got a few minutes left. How, I think, there's an old adage, and it's kind of cliche, that hurt people. But I also think that insecure people destabilize secure environments.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think insecurity is a character flaw that, manifests itself in activities that we don't call sin, but it's
a cancer.
Pride. It is a cancer, and it's toxic, and it's pride. It's really just pride, honestly. Why don't we focus on that aspect, right? Like being okay with who you are in this moment. Not that we can't improve, but not in a way that is competitive. Because it seems like, to me,
our organization don't allow it. Like everybody trying to be like the next bishop or Jacobs. You know what I'm saying? It's like they see the success of somebody else, and now they want to be a carbon copy, when if you be yourself, who God ordained and made you to be, you'll be a success.
Well, why? So why is it? So why is it such a, everybody wants to copy whoever?
I don't know, because I ain't never had that problem. It's hard being somebody else. It's so much easier being Danielle. I've seen it, so it's not like I'm unfamiliar with it, but the logic behind it is not logical to me at all, right?
Yeah.
Because I see how hard it is for you to try to live up to these people's expectation.
Yeah.
And half of them don't even know who you are, right? Because they don't even see you.
Sad.
Why? Because you're looking like somebody else. Be yourself. You're going to be seen. Then you're going to be heard, and then you'll have opportunity. So it's like, it is literally a waste of time being somebody else or not learning how to be comfortable with you. I went to therapy. And I'm not ashamed to say that. Like, some stuff you need to talk out. And for me, therapy, the person, I didn't know them, so I didn't care what they thought about me. So I was able to be honest and not worry about your opinion. So a lot of times we're concerned about what other people are going to think or how I'm going to look. To, like, the reason most people didn't know I was madam, I didn't want to look like, I didn't want to be associated with that lifestyle to them. They saw me a certain type of way, and I wanted to keep it that way. So again, that's me learning to be comfortable with myself. I wasn't hiding it, but it wasn't out in the open. But then God allowed me to release it at a time when I'm secure with who I am.
I love it. Look, we got to cut to another break, pay some bills, and then I'm going to play a video after this. I want to get your thoughts, because I want to talk about, betting on yourself, because really writing this book is betting on yourself, right? I think we have talents. The Bible says he giveth you power to obtain wealth according to the power that worketh in you, not in him,
right?
In you, right? So I want to get your thoughts on this video. Let's pay some bills, cut to a break, and then when we return, we're going to watch the video, do a review, and then we'll be back with the one, the only, the author, Missionary, Danielle.
Why are we still drinking boring protein? Sensual protein is not your average shake. It's bold cinnamon flavor, real muscle fueling power, and zero bland energy. Every sip hits different. It actually makes you want to stay consistent. If you're done settling for basic nutrition, this is your upgrade. Built by CVMK Global, a brand that moves with intensity and vision. Follow CVMK Global on Instagram and CVMK Globe on TikTok and unleash your inner beast.
And I'm expecting y'all to try to win me over there.
That's the one, the only Candace Hampton Fudge, aka the Beauty Bayou. I believe she's out of Louisiana in the South. Huge influencer. Shout out to Candace for doing the video. But yo, you know what she's talking about? She's talking about this right here. The CVMK sensual protein. If your protein doesn't look like this, feel like this, smell like this, you got the wrong protein. You tripping, dog. This is amazing. 31 grams per scoop, 130 calories, low cal, digestive enzymes, won't get you bloated, and 31 grams. Why are you doing it to yourself, man? You don't have it yet. You need to go to www.cvmkglobal.store. Use code CVMK. 20% off. Okay, so look, you did this thing. You wrote this masterpiece, right? This thing that's going to become a bestseller, New York Times bestseller. Gonna break. Let's speak it into the atmosphere. It's gonna break records and do all these amazing things. Club. And you know, you're gonna be on the Tamron Hall show and all this stuff, right? You bet it on yourself. And that's a hard thing because you know, a lot of people, and I, you know, the older I get, I used to think like, man, why can't people just have the courage? Man, you get hit hard enough, it'll make you, you know, kind of cow out. But to do this means a lot. So I had Dr. Shannon Burge has been on here and she talked about the importance of betting on herself. I want to play this video. I want to get your thoughts. I want you to close it out and then we'll talk about where they can purchase the book. But let's watch this video. Let's do a quick review. I want to know, when did this aha moment happen? And then part two, what has that been like to be free?
Man, such a good question. Well, first and foremost, you know, I'm a believer, and I think that is very instrumental in a lot of the decisions that I make because, you know, I think always a lot of prayer and reflection when you make decisions that are life impacting. So when you talk about when was this pivotal moment that I decided I'm going to transition out of corporate America, you know, my nonprofit, I've always been doing a lot of events and I can go back to, I was in Chicago and I did an event for my nonprofit and I had about 8 speakers. And you have to be very intentional about what you ask for, because I remember there, I was like, yeah, when I transition out of corporate. So I made a statement. So first off, I made a statement. I was like, yeah, next time, you know, I come here, I could be, you know, be fully transitioned out of corporate. And I made a statement like that. So for one, be very intentional about what you speak, because you can speak life to yourself and what you put into the atmosphere. Yeah. But I think what ultimately was the decision maker, there's some transitions at the business. And I remember I was fine. I wasn't impacted, but I remember a number of individuals that I had worked with and for were impacted. But I think it was a gut check to me to remember that you have to bet on yourself. And it opened up my eyes to really reflect on, like, are you doing exactly what you want to be doing? And I've, you know, really loved my corporate career and impacting and leading different teams. But I knew deep down that I'd had this fitness business on the side for 10 years.
All right. So, you know, we talk about betting on yourself. You did the ultimate thing by putting your story out there, putting the effort into it, investing, getting an ISB in. First of all, anybody that's ever authored a book knows that an ISB in is not cheap. You think it's just, you know, writing something off and printing it off at Kinko's. No, it's not. It is a whole process behind this, darling. And you did this thing. What does betting on yourself mean for you?
I can't fail. Like, if I bet on myself, even if it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, it still was a win, because now I know what to do different next time. So, like, just betting on myself was just that faith. Like, God gave it to me. I've been saying this. I got this from Pastor Mike Jones Jr. God's will, God way, God be. So, like, he gave it to me. And he's been making a provision for it ever since. And that's how I know that I bet it good. And betting on yourself is just stepping out on faith, trusting God enough to do what is in your heart. Because like when we doing what we love, it ain't work, right? What we love to do. And I'm at the place in my life where I want to make a difference. I want to make an impact. And even if that's one person, I make an impact on one person, and that person make an impact on one person. Another person make an impact on one person. That's a lot of people at the end of the day.
That's true. That's true. That's true. I think you're spot on. Knowing that God has called you to do that, not that doubt can arise, because I don't want to overly gloss over the human experience, even when there's divine will. Like I thought today, I was thinking to myself, I'm preparing for a sermon that I haven't been yet assigned to preach, but that's how I do it, because I don't wait for the assignment. I just hear from God and I write it down, and whenever it happens, it happens. And I was thinking about David, and I said, man, David fights Goliath, and it becomes almost a fairy tale. It becomes mythology in a point. We think of this, oh man, he slain a giant, and he threw a rock, and very short on the details. And when people go to actually preach it, tell it, narrate it, cover it in a movie, it almost seems like a caricature. And I think it's an oversimplification of what happened. David steps on a battlefield. He puts himself in jeopardy to die. Right? Like it could have went another way. And even though he had confidence, there's nothing that is written that says, David, that the Lord says, go kill Goliath. But he has this assurity that he could do this thing because of what he did in the past. And because he believed that he was the anointed one that God has called to raise up. But he could have died. That did not dissolve this factor that David could have been murdered in this event, right? And to be bold enough to be in a battle, to put yourself out there, to actually throw an object, a projectile, the scriptures never say if Goliath threw something prior to, like a lot of it is kind of vague in detail. But for this thing to connect, and the connecting point was really the hand of God, that this object connected, and then he killed this behemoth with his own device, is the favor of God, not the absence of battle.
Right.
The reality is David probably had cuts and bruises and everything else, right, that you would get in a war, right? But he put himself out there. So with that being said, Missionary Danielle Dickerson, thank you for putting yourself out there. And this book is that stone that's going to kill Goliath. And when you make your million, I just want you to, I know you follow us. Just buy protein. That's all I ask. Just buy protein. Mr. Danielle, where I got one more question after this, but where can the people connect with you? Where can they buy the book? Somebody's already asked. Missionary Kilo asked, where can they buy it? Prophet David asked, are you going to bring it to the workers' meeting? Are you going to bring it, and where can they buy it?
I have them. I had them at the women's convention. They was bad. So I keep them on me. You can order it through PayHip. That's direct to me. I get more profit through PayHip. So www.payhip.com, and then you put in format on the Missionary. I have ebook and paperback. I'm working on audio. I gotta stop crying. Once I can get past the emotional part, then I can go ahead and put it out there. Also, like people that's been asking for it out of state, I've been referring them to Amazon because they'll get it in like a day or two. And then I'm planning to do some more pop-up stuff, but come to the workers meet next week. I have some copies with me. They're $20. We have t-shirts that's $25 and $30, or you can get a bundle for $40 and $45.
Yo, get the bundle, go to PayHip because it gets more of a profit, because margins matter, because you sell on Amazon, they're going to get their 35%. I know. Amazon going to get their cut. You'll get it in a day. But they get theirs. Support her, connect with her, follow her on all socials. It goes down. But I got one more question for you, Madam to Missionary. If you could have one person on this show, Mario, you are late. You are late, and it's inexcusable, sir. That's that Kobe fan in you. Only Kobe fans are late.
Don't do my brother. They can catch him on my show next month.
If you could have one person on the show that you could personally introduce me to, who would it be and why?
One person that I personally know,
Yes.
it would be my friend Nina. I was on her show. She's a community activist. She has a physical disability, like her arms are short. But when I say this lady is superwoman,
Yeah.
and everything she has put her mind to, she has done. And not only that, she's teaching other people how to do it. She has a UCAN university, and it shows her. She's telling people how they can also publish their own books, how they can also be an advocate speaker. Like, she's just a dope individual. So I definitely make that connection.
Megan, you're more than welcome to be on here. You heard it first, so I'm gonna hold you to it. So when I don't see an email next couple of days, I'm be like,
no, we're gonna have that done tomorrow.
Get it on there, y'all. This has been amazing. We have one of the most talented author, Northern Illinois jurisdiction, y'all.
Historic.
Danielle Dixon. Her books will be there at the workers' meeting. That's next week. I got an amazing episode about to drop.
Yes, come on, finally.
Bishop Walker, his episode is going to drop in a couple weeks.
Yes.
Let's record it tomorrow. So, I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to try to be a bit more censored and a bit more controlled, but it's going to be an amazing time. But if you want to keep seeing leaders like we have on today, you know what you got to do. YouTube, y'all. I'm going to put it in the chat just in case. If you're on YouTube and you're not subscribed to CVMK, shame on you. God don't like ugly. And you being an ugly, you being an ugly person right now. You being ugly. Then go to on social media. I need you to do two things. CVMK Global. You'll see the bear. You'll put it on TikTok. You'll see it is on the CVMK Global and TikTok. Y'all, www.cvmkglobal.store website. Get your we got new stuff coming out. Oh, we got something better than an Ozempic. We got a whole new line. But for right now, from your proteins to your pre-workouts to your creatines, get it today, y'all. www.cvmkglobal.store. Central Protein, where it goes down. I'm telling you now, you will not be disappointed. And we have the apparel. I told y'all the story, right? About having the support. We got a bunch of athletics apparel, but it's there for you. I created this for you, and we're going to build this next Nike. But guys, this has been amazing. And I look forward to having on Nina. And I look forward to engaging with the rest of Bowl. I know they're hiding from me. I know Mario's hiding from me.
Mario's not hiding from you. You just ain't talking to him.
He's hiding from me. Oz is hiding from me. The whole ministerial.
Stop calling out my church. No. My pastor invited you to invite his ministerial staff.
I invited y'all. I gave y'all a shout out.
No. That wasn't an invite. Come to 9600 South Vincennes, invite us, and set it up.
Just let me MC. I don't know why I can't MC at workers' meeting. I should be able to MC.
Don't call us out like that. That's not what we're about. We're not scared.
Hey, I call it out, Mario. I bring the smoke.
I welcome all smoke. See,
they call me Snoop when it comes to smoke. I bring the smoke.
That's the ministerial staff. You're in trouble, Doc.
9600 South Bends, Sins Avenue. I will be there. I will roll up at your church. I will roll up and be like, "Hey, I'm here." And
we're gonna record.
We're going down, y'all. But this has been another amazing episode of the CVMK.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for supporting her. Buy the book. You see the book right there from Madam. From Pimpin' Ain't Easy to Laying Hands on the Sick and They Recovering. Y'all get the book. It's an amazing read. I bought it first read. I personally recommend it. And until next time, guys, you guys have been amazing. Thanks.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe now for more amazing content.